Hello and welcome to Prophecy of Pendor Rearmed. This is the new submod that I actually had no idea about until someone actually told me about it a few months ago, and I was planning on playing it a lot earlier, but then other things came out and I was like, oh no, I'm distracted by all this other stuff. So we are now going to be heading in. If you'd like to check out the submod, by the way, there is a link in the description. And indeed, we are going to be a respectable physician here. We are going to... Oh, I have no idea, actually. We're going to left you to fend for yourself. That's what we're going to do. And then what about a physician scholar right there? And then a series of unfortunate events, and there it is. Alright, so after the wonderful voiced introduction is over, we can now go onward and actually choose our attributes and skill points and weapon points and all that wonderful stuff. It's been a while since I played Warband, so I am going to be a little bit rusty, just bear that in mind. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to be speccing into quite a lot of intelligence here. I'm going to go for 9 in strength as well, because we do want to get some power strike and we want to get some iron flesh too. We have a massive amount of skill points thanks to our intelligence boost right there. And of course, if you remember what Pendor is all about, well, we're going to get a load of Qualis gems, and we're hopefully going to be able to stick those where the sun don't shine and power ourselves up, and we'll be able to boost all the way to the moon, basically. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we'll be able to make that work. Going to go for another point of tactics here as well. I'm thinking we're probably not going to go for looting or anything like that. Probably a good idea for us to go to Weapon Master. I'm thinking we'll go for Power Throw, actually, as well. It's probably not the best idea, to be honest, but we're going to go for it nevertheless, and then we will also go for another point in writing skill too. Alright, so look at our character right here. Our character is actually looking really, really strong right now. We're going to go for some throwing skill as well, and there's a reason for that. I am going to be starting in a very interesting place, because this is usually, and this is something that I haven't done for a very, very long time. We're going to start in the Fjordsvein territory. Yeah, the Fjordsvein territory. That's usually where I don't start here. I never usually start here, so we're going to have a... Oh, no. Are you serious? Oh, are you serious? These guys literally were right by the side of us right here? Okay, well, this is hilarious. Okay, I've got 45... Oh, no. I've got 45 bolts. This is not going to work. I'm never going to be able to do this. What do I have? Okay, I have a sword. These guys have ranged... Ugh. Okay, well, this is very bad, isn't it? Okay, well, they are actually... Oh, yeah, I'm not used to fighting this. Oh, okay, I'm not used to fighting this whatsoever. Nice. Okay, good damage, good damage. Maybe we can actually do something here. I could use the crossbow. Oh, dear. I could use the crossbow if I want to do something, you know, absolutely ridiculous and actually do no damage. That's probably the case. I mean, let's face it, right? But... for some reason, they're not very good, these guys. This is kind of interesting, but yes, anyway, the Rearmed submod makes a huge amount of changes to the base Pendor mod itself. And I gotta say, I'm actually very, very pleased with that, because what we're going to do is we're hopefully going to be able to experience every single new thing that has been implemented. Loads of different tweaks and all that wonderful stuff too, which means that, for example... there are different training times for your knighthood order. There are different stats across the board for pretty much every single faction. Every single unit type has been changed from top to bottom. And I gotta say, I'm actually very much looking forward to that. Okay, here we go, here we go. We actually seem to be winning this. I am very surprised. Oh yeah. Ranged weapons. That is one of the biggest things that I noticed. You know, despite the fact that there's a huge amount that is different here. But ranged weapons have been somewhat changed a little bit, as in they have a slower firing rate, which does mean that ranged troops, like for example the Ravenstern Rangers and the, well, Empire crossbowmen, even though they are actually pretty slow already, but, you know, mostly talking about ranged troops that are going to just murder you with snipage from very far away. They're the ones that are going to be much, much worse than they were beforehand, even though they do have another little bit of stat change to compensate for the slower fire rate. So you do have to bear that in mind. That is not a straight nerf. It's just a bit of a change in how they deal damage. I personally think that it's very, very useful for a variety of reasons, because let's face it, when you get to the late game, if you're using, let's just say, if you're trying to go up against the Noldor, well, you know how extremely difficult it is to deal damage to them. They are amazing at what they do. And, well, it's nice to actually have a situation where maybe the ranged troops are not going to be absolutely destroying you. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Oh, what? I'm doing damage with the crossbow. Can you believe it? Okay, well, not now. Okay, yes. Let me miss. Yes, I love missing. I love missing with my crossbow, don't we? Yes, that's absolutely perfect. Can we actually get a nice little snipe on this guy? Nope. Alright. Gonna go the old-fashioned route then and do some damage. A very, very little amount of damage needing to be done here. They've taken a lot of damage from us in the process anyway, and this fellow, all he needed to do was get a nice little thrust going on us right there if he wanted to kill us. He's having a very, he's having a bit of a identity crisis here or something like that. But yeah, we are absolutely 100% fine, actually. Very surprising that we were able to do that. I was thinking to myself that I was going to die very, very quickly here, but we seem to be fine. There you go. Shot him. Oh yeah, shot him where the sun don't shine. Fantastic. Okay, that's absolutely perfect. Now we can, look at that, get 9 renown. Okay, 9 renown. That's actually very significant. And what is this? We're getting some extremely nice gear straight away. Obviously the sword not exactly amazing, but you know, good enough. You know, not exactly terrible either. And indeed, look at this. We can now get all of this. Oh, there's even a helmet. Look at that. We've immediately gotten an old Fjordsvane footman helmet. Yes, that's very nice actually. Very, very surprising indeed. All right, yeah, I might need to get some inventory management as well, despite the fact I do have a couple of points in it, but we are going to be doing a little bit of trading. I don't think the trading prices or anything like that have actually changed in the submod, but you can take a look at the changelog on the description page where you can download it as well and all that, you know, all that wonderful stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to buy some, well, not buy, but I'm going to take some cheese and some bread, because these guys had some, and I might as well, right? Might as well. Okay, so we can capture some people as well, and there we have it. Okay, so the hilarious thing was, I literally just wanted to go into Javiksholm, but they were right there. They were instantaneously upon us. So it was very, very harsh. But yes, as you can see, we actually have a book here. Well, 2 books. We have one, they provide us with wound treatment. I'm not entirely sure if they stack. I don't think they do, to be honest. I don't think they do. So yeah, that's going to be kind of pointless, but if it does stack, then that's amazing. I don't think it does. Okay, so let's actually just see here. Sell this, sell this, or this. Okay, so okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so look at that. We got 1,200 dinars instantaneously, which is so extremely good. I do need to be a little bit careful about spending money way too fast here. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that we got both of those books, because as far as I am aware, what you can actually do and what you can get pretty lucky with is if you start with the same, I'm actually not entirely sure whether I selected the appropriate character options at the beginning there, but if you select the correct ones, you can actually get a book that gives you +1 wound treatment and one that gives you +1 surgery. So in essence, you can have 6 surgery and 6 wound treatment straight away. So that's very, very good. You might also be able to get first aid too, but obviously that doesn't really matter. You know, all things considered, that does not matter in the least. Because what we're going to do is we're going to spend a point in pathfinding here, and we're going to be getting some more points in... Well, I'm thinking right now that we probably want to get engineering, but we shouldn't probably get engineering just yet. What we should probably do is go for some... Well, we should go for trainer skill, but later. I think inventory management is definitely going to help us out right now, so we're going to be going for that. Let's get some throwing skill, because I wouldn't mind getting some throwing weapons. I know. I shouldn't really be doing that, because I am terrible with throwing weapons. And, well, I'm kind of hoping that the Fjordsvane are going to give us some. No, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're just going to give me crossbow bolts. No, why? Why are you giving me crossbow bolts, you imbeciles? Okay, well, there is actually a lance there. I should probably get to 10 strength, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should probably get to 10 strength, but I don't currently have any points left, so that's a... Yeah, that happens, isn't it? Yeah, that happens. Okay, so... Hello there, I want to sell all my prisoners, 31, that's obviously fine. We've got Div here. Now, here's the thing. I am obviously going to be getting a certain amount of companions. I'm not entirely sure what kind of setup we're going to be going for just yet. But I do know that if we find Ansen or if we find Leslie, then I am going to be recruiting them almost immediately. So It's going to be very important. Now, enterprises and towns and things like that, they all provide more money than they normally do, and I'm very much... Actually, you know what? Shall I try to get one right now? 4,500? 872 per week. That's actually really nice. Okay, you know what? Wait a minute. 5,000. I don't have 5,000. What about a mill? 4,500. Okay, 4,500 seems to be about the limit here. 5,000. The Weavery and Dye Works is obviously going to be insane. 1,600. That's going to get you. 6,000. Yeah, we're getting pretty unlucky here, unfortunately. Well, not unlucky, but more like, oh, I'm just a poor man. Yes, I'm just a poor man that doesn't really have any money. So we are going to go in here and see if we can actually buy. Yeah, I think we can maybe take the flax from Avendor. Let me go over to Yayek real quick, because I need to be a bit careful about the looters in and around this area. Whoa, did we just recruit some really good people? Oh no, not really. They're okay. Alright, so we've got some foraging looters that want to attack us. Now, obviously, here's the thing. I am technically the medic, right? I'm technically the medic, so most of my people are probably going to be doing a relatively good job at staying alive here, just purely because we have such high medicine skills already, you know, because this is usually not something that you're going to be seeing this early on. Let me actually see where my opponents are. Okay, they're actually over here. Okay, ooh, no. This should be pretty simple for us. Yeah, I'm not used to this. Can you tell? I'm not used to fighting in Warband anymore. Okay, oh, nice kill. Okay, come on, Fierce Vein friends. You can do this. I'm going to try to do some damage. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Nice hit. Okay, yes. I'm going to tell my guys to charge in, so they can actually start doing some damage, because as you can see, we're inflicting a lot of damage ourselves, and we're also distracting the opponent, which obviously is a fantastic thing to do, especially considering our forces do have thrown weapons, and this early on, against these kinds of enemies, thrown weapons are amazingly effective, because they don't have any shields, they have very light armor and everything, so it's going to be very, very nice. And our friend Carl is doing an amazing amount of damage. Obviously joking. I'm going to make a lot of those kinds of jokes now, because, you know, obviously it's a name, right? It's a name, but also it's the unit type, so it's quite... yeah, anyway. Point is, let's have a look. What do we have? Wait a minute. This is actually a better sword than what we were using beforehand, so this is very nice. We are going to, of course, be selling the old one. Do we have any thrown weapons here? I don't think so, right? We do have some cheese, though. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll probably be taking pretty much everything here. Obviously, early on, we want to try to make as much money as possible, and this is going to be extremely good for us, considering the fact that we do have enterprises that are going to pay us a massive amount once we get a hold of them. So this is going to be very, very nice. Let's go to Avendor real quick. Did I actually level up my forces as well? Yeah, they all leveled up. That's fantastic. We also leveled up, of course, as well. So let's get another point in strength, because we're going to need that. Obviously, we're going to need that. And the question is, what do we spec into now? Well, probably inventory management, right? Because I already spec'd into that, hilariously enough, and I am still maxing out completely for some reason. But yeah, we are going to do that. Let's just have a look. See here. Okay, so they're running away from me now. That is obviously fine. I just want to be a little bit careful about the fact that I don't really... Whoa, we're getting a load of people. Wow. Okay, we recruited 16. That's insane. We recruited 16 people from that village. That's really, really nice. Anyway, we're going to go over to Avendor, see if we can maybe pick up some really, really nice... No, okay, apparently not. I was like, oh yes, let me see if I can pick up some really nice resources here, so that I might be able to do some trading, because, well, while my trading skill isn't exactly great, it's gonna be not bad, you know? It's gonna be alright. As you can see, we gained so much space, so much so that you can see the difference between where our food was beforehand, and look at all the space that we have right now. That's gonna be fantastic. So, the question is now if we can actually get our hands on some really, really nice, really cheap resources so that we can actually start doing some cool stuff. And, well, I was kind of hoping to get a very nice bundle of flax. Unfortunately, the flax doesn't seem to be expensive enough. I'm going to purchase one. And we're going to go over, and because obviously I can absorb the dangerous, shall we say, trade here. If we, you know, end up losing a huge amount of money, then at least 154 is not even, yeah, as you can see right there, it's literally giving me 157. That is basically pointless. So that's not very good. However, what we could do is we might be able to find some iron. If we can find some iron somewhere, then we're going to have a great time, because that means that we can then go over to Senderfall and maybe do something over there with that. That might be quite fun. But it depends. Yeah, as you can see, 418 though. 418 is not... that is not cheap. That is not cheap by any means. Let's go into the tavern here. Maybe we'll find Ansen or something like that. Even though, to be honest, we don't really need Ansen or Leslie at this point. Mostly because we are, of course, the medic. You know, we are actually the medic, so it's not really going to provide us with that much of a benefit. However, what I am also looking for is I'm looking for the guy that sells potions. I forget his name. I will know his name when we see him. But yes, I'm looking for the guy that sells potions. There's a Donya as well. Yeah, we might be able to ask... Wait, maybe we can... no, we can't ask this guy. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, we might be able to... maybe we can ask her. Let me have a look. No. Okay, no, we're not going to be getting anything from her. Unfortunate. Okay, yeah, but generally, what we could do... And I'm not going to do this yet, okay? But what we could do is we could go into Rain and we could get ourselves a Qualis Gem. Now, obviously, a Qualis Gem is the most important resource you can get your hands on in... oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Yeah, in Pendor. It's very, very important that you get your hands on as many Qualis Gems as possible. Now, unfortunately for me, the only one that I have available at the very start is just this one in Rain. But we could potentially get our hands on a Red Brotherhood hideout map. That is one of the first other, you know, sources of it. And then otherwise, we just need to try and see whether we can, well, defeat unique spawns and stuff like that. That's going to be the next best thing, I suppose. We could go over to Senderfall, actually, and see if there's anything there that could be of use. Let's actually just take a quick look here. Okay, I've got to be careful of some of these bandits, because we don't want to go in against some of these fellows right yet. Because as you can see, Bear Claw Berserkers, they are just going to cleave through my entire party extremely fast. And it is going to be rather uncomfortable, because then I'm going to look at my guys and I'm going to say, I'm so sorry, this guy's cleaving through you right now. It's not a particularly good thing to do, is it? No. And then they're just going to look at me like, well, you went in against this guy, you absolute idiot. You know, that's exactly what they're going to say. Anyway, we did get some iron here. Okay, so that's actually pretty nice. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually buy some iron. I know. Usually I don't really like doing trading that much in Warband unless you are sure that you're going to be getting something really, really nice. And we are getting something nice here, so I'm thinking maybe we just want to go for it. Okay, so heard any rumors? I highly doubt. There's Ansen. Okay, yeah, we're actually going to get him straight away because he's free. And usually what I would recommend you do with Ansen is make him into your medic. But because he is a good-natured companion, or at the very least I remember that he has a positive personality, he actually turns into an extremely good lord, aka a vassal for you later on in the game. Otherwise, we do have a tournament here. Unfortunately, as you can see, we don't have enough renown to be able to join it, so we won't be able to do anything with that, but that's okay, because we can now just make our way down to Yavixholm to try and make sure that we don't get ourselves completely and utterly murdered by any number of bandits that are around here. Alright, so we've actually entered a battle against some Red Brotherhood bandits, and we're going to attempt, if we can, to try to bait the map. I know. I don't think this actually has any impact whatsoever on whether the map actually appears, but I'm kind of a little bit superstitious about that. I don't know. I'm not sure if that... Is that silly? Yeah, I think so. I think it is probably silly, but we're going to be just basically attacking any Red Brotherhood bandits that we see, because from my perspective, whenever I've done this in the past, for some reason, I have always gotten very lucky just afterwards with speaking to one of the travelers and then gaining the map itself. And if I can actually make that happen again, just by attacking a couple of these guys, then I'm more than happy to be able to do that. So otherwise, we also need to get Ansen some gear. That's hopefully going to help him out quite nicely. And there you go. There we are. Very nice. There's a nice victory for us. Obviously, these guys are going to be pretty easy for us. We do need to start attacking some Vanskeries. That's going to be where the major problem lies, because obviously, as we know, or as we may or may not know, Vanskeries are actually very dangerous. They are heavily armored, and we may have some problems with dealing with them. So we're going to have to see what we can do about that. Oh, why do I not have 3 in shield skill? Did I not actually spec 3 in shield skill? I thought I did. Okay, well, let's actually just have a look-see at that. Okay, yeah, no. Okay. We're going to have to spec into surgery and all that stuff now. So let's see. Surgery, wound treatment. I think that's going to have to be it. We do have... Yeah, no. We actually only have 2 in shield. So we need 3 in shield. The question is, do I... You know what? You know what I'm actually going to do? We're going to go for another point in surgery just to make sure that people don't die as much. And then we're just going to be getting another point in shield just purely so I can wear this shield. That's it. And we're going to keep the crossbow on right now because you never know. Maybe it's actually going to be somewhat useful. Now, I've actually been looking at Ansen's gear here, and technically, well, I've been looking at his stats and his gear, and I did give him just some new stuff right now. Basically just from our inventory, so you could see there that he's wearing the Ravenstone thing that we looted, and we also gave him some new gloves and so on and so forth. And yeah, you'd be absolutely accurate and very factual to say that he's still wearing absolute junk. Yeah, he has pretty terrible gear, so we're just going to get rid of all this stuff, and then we are going to be buying all this flax. This is an insanely good trade route for us to go for very, very early on in the game here, and hopefully we're going to be able to make some good money for... Yes, I don't have enough. Yes, that's rather unfortunate, isn't it? Okay, so let's actually just get rid of quite a bit here. You know what? Let's just get rid of that. We're not going to spend too much money on this because... I do want to make a really, really nice profit here, so let's have a look. 452. Alright, so we've arrived at Avendor, and we're going to be selling this, as you remember, 452. So we're making basically double the amount of cash that we otherwise would have gained beforehand. So that's actually pretty nice. I don't think that's too bad. It would have been nice to have a little bit more, obviously, but... You know, we got to be a little bit careful about these kinds of things. Ooh, we can get Leslie too. I'm actually not entirely sure if this is going to be a good idea, but we'll get her anyway because she is free. So how can we say, you know, anything about that? Wait. Okay, here we go. This is a traveler right here. So this is obviously one of the travelers that we want to try to speak to as much as we possibly can. Yeah, 7 refugees. No, that's not going to actually make any difference to us. Thank you very much. But yeah. There's a lot of different ways that we could try to find the Red Brotherhood map. As I said earlier, we're not really going to be getting the Rain Qualis gem just yet. What I would like to do is ideally find... I think he's actually... Wait a minute. I think I can go to Poinsbrook. I think if I go to Poinsbrook, we might be able to find an NPC there that could help us. Alright, so I've arrived in Poinsbrook, and hilariously enough, I did just get the legendary bow from the god, you know, because he's obviously giving you the bow to, well, pretty much eliminate Wolfbode the Slayer. You know, that's basically what they're trying to convey to you right there. But otherwise, as you can see, we do have a hidden cache in Rain for 200 dinars, and we're going to say yes to that. Thank you very much. Do you have anything else? Nah, there's no way. But yeah, you can actually ask any of these travelers where these guys are. But as you can see, we have Vorador the Scribe here. What else do you offer? What is this? Look at this, a gracious voluntary donation for our university. I could share my knowledge about locations of some truly remarkable people, some of whom you may know. Okay, let's do it. Why not? So as you can see, this basically tells us where all these companions are. So if you're looking for someone specific, you can just come to Poinsbrook and then you can ask him, you know, what you need to know, basically. So very, very cool in my opinion. I actually very much appreciate this system because it makes it a lot easier for you to, you know, find what you need to find. And I like that a great deal. Oh, what's this? Oh, hello. I was so intrigued by the discussion that once I got to Salin, I immediately went to the Great Library and tried to find more information. I found nothing. Nothing in their history books, and no maps show any castles near Quinn. I have even asked a nearby Lion's chronicler, only to be told that what I heard was drunken nonsense, and furthermore that I shouldn't waste my time on it. But what those men described was so convincing, it seems like a missed opportunity to not investigate further. Would you be interested in a good old archaeological hunt? Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, so this is that Old Tale quest, which I thought might be kind of fun to do. Yeah, I'm not a terribly big fan of doing quests in Warband mods unless it's a specific mod by the name of Light and Darkness. That's one of my favorites, if not my favorite mod ever. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, so we're gonna actually make our way away from here because unfortunately I don't have enough money to be able to recruit Little Durin or Boadis, so we will have to leave here empty-handed. Alright, so we got some more Red Brotherhood hideout people here, and we're going to attempt to eliminate them as best as we can. Unfortunately, my sword is still absolute suckage, so unfortunately it's not really going to be able to do anything super amazing here. It is going to, well, hopefully get us a couple of kills and, you know, get us some experience that we desperately need. And generally, if we can indeed eliminate a handful of these people, at least we'll get some experience, right? Just a little bit of experience is all I require. I don't need a huge amount, but as you can see, look at the amount of damage I can do with my weapon right now. It's very limited. Very, very limited. I do need to get myself a lance, and I will be doing that very, very soon. As soon as I can... I think I'm probably going to need to get to 12 strength to be able to use a relatively decent lance. So that's going to be a problem in itself, because obviously I need to level up twice to be able to do that. And I probably should have... Actually, you know what? No, I don't. No, I don't need to do that. Ah, yes, that actually reminds me. I can literally just go and ask where Phineas the Digit is. I did actually ask the guy, the traveler, where I was beforehand in Poinsbrook. I did actually ask him where Phineas was, and he said he is in a hidden outpost far away from here. So I'm pretty sure we are not able to actually see him yet, which is kind of annoying, to be honest. Let's go into the troop trees real fast, because obviously the troop trees have been completely changed. They have been changed statistics-wise. And yeah, we're going to be leveling these guys up. So as you can see, these are the berserkers, which we're going to be going for the most part. You can see here that they do have throwing spears, which I am obviously very much interested in getting. And indeed, they have one-handed axes. They also have throwing axes that they have the possibility of being equipped with as well. And also, of course, we have the Feared Vein Huntresses as well. Now, these guys are actually not bad, to be honest. They're actually looking pretty nice. They have polearms. They are primarily the polearm person. And indeed, we do have some of the noble troops over in the top left here. And you're going to be seeing basically berserkers, basically crazy two-handed berserkers who are going to absolutely slaughter everything in their path with the two-handed axes that they have. But if you want to go for a cavalry solution, then you also have that available here in the form of the Feared Vein Hersia, which is actually something that we are probably going to be going for too once we have enough cash to be able to make that work. As you can see, I have 47 renown, which is actually not too bad. We have honor rating 0, of course, because I haven't really done much. And what I would love right now is our ironworks to come into play, if at all possible. That would be very, very nice. I would love to be able to do some damage against some Vanskree raiders, but I highly doubt I'm going to be able to do that. Vanskrees are very difficult in comparison to what we're facing now, such as these random Red Brotherhood hideout brigands and bandits and things like that. So yes, I think we'll probably... Actually, hello. Yeah, I kind of want to go in here against this guy, but I don't want to have this fellow join him. There we go. Okay, that's fantastic. We're going to just go straight on in. Unfortunately, it is during the night time. I'm not a big fan of fighting at night in any mod, really, because the nighttime is so dark. It's very, very difficult to actually see anything, unfortunately, and I kind of don't like that. Okay, let me see if I can stay alive. Try and get some experience. Nice. A good bit of damage. Good bit of damage. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, can we get some more? Yeah, there's the... Oh, we might have the possibility for a lance here. Yeah, we might have the possibility for a lance here because this guy has a lance. So it kind of makes sense that maybe we'll have the opportunity to loot his. That would be cool. Oh yeah, I do seem to recall that there is a specific thing that you can do to try to maximize the chance that you're going to get really, really good loot. And that is by eliminating the highest tier, or should we say highest value troops first. So for example, you could see here that means this guy right here. Right? That means this fellow right here. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen now. I believe it's the first 5. I think it's the first 5 enemies that you kill, so unfortunately that will not really be the case here. No, as you can see, we didn't really get very good loot, which is kind of unfortunate. That is definitely going to be a thing that we'll have to do a little bit more often in the future, where we're going to have to just be very, very selective about what kind of enemies we eliminate. That's exactly also the reason why I want to try and get my hands on a lance as far, basically as soon as possible, to be honest. So let me see what I can do here. Is this actually going to be somewhat good for us? Yeah, I mean, I could give him a shield. Oh, no, he doesn't actually have the ability to use that. It's kind of unfortunate, too. Nice shoes for him. He doesn't have the ability to use that. What about a better chest piece? Yes. There we go. Yes, that's what we like to see. Okay, so the question is, does he have shield 1? Yes, he does. There we go. Fantastic. So now he has a shield. He did actually level up as well, funnily enough. So what are we going to actually spec him into? Because obviously we are the medic, so we don't really need him to be the medic. Usually, he would be. If you are playing a different kind of character, then you could obviously do that. I'm going to go for strength. I think I'm going to go for strength for him, and I'm going to probably spec him into some Iron Flesh or something like that. I mean, yeah, he is going to take a little bit of extra time to level up, of course, but I think that generally this is probably going to be a good idea in the end, because he's going to become some kind of crazy cool, I don't know, heavy cavalry or something like that. I think that's probably going to be the best course of action. And we did level up too, so let's actually have a look. Okay, yeah. So as I said, we don't need to go for strength, because if I go to Rain and I get the Qualis Gem and then I go to Phineas to Digit, I can get +2 strength straight away. And that is absolutely amazing. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to spec into intelligence continuously here. And I am going to be going for probably first aid wound treatment. What else? Do I need something else? I'm assuming I need something else, and I'm completely forgetting what I need. But I think that's actually all I do need. I could go for some more athletic skill, which is probably going to be the thing that I will do at some point. Let's go for some more throwing skill. I am going to go for throwing weapons, but it's just so funny. I just don't really... I never really come across them for some reason. I don't know why, but yes. Vanscree Raiders. Yeah, let's be a little bit careful about those. I'm actually kind of waiting for my weekly wages to come through. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to get some of that. Yeah, I kind of want to sell this bow, to be honest. I'm probably not ever going to use it, but I could maybe give it to one of our companions, something like that. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. Generally, it's not really worth selling either. So probably not going to be something that I'm going to be, thinking about that much. But let's buy some cabbage and some grain. We got another 623 dinars. Obviously, that doesn't really do much for me, unfortunately. So I'm kind of hoping that what we can do is just very slowly level our forces up and try to get into a battle against some Vanscree Raiders. Or my weekly wages can finally come through. And if my weekly wages do come through, I might have enough to be able to purchase a lance, because I've seen some lances for 1,200, and 1,200 is really not very much. Whoa, we're not getting that much. Okay, we're not actually getting that much. That's kind of, I was kind of hoping for 1,000. I'm not sure why we're not getting 1,000 from that. Okay, well, we've only got 1,000, which is really bad. That's actually the reason why. Oh, wait a minute, we've got a lance here. Never mind. Okay, this is actually perfect. I'm gonna take away the crossbow now. Gonna use this. There we are. Okay, fantastic. So that's 450. This is really, really nice. Usually, I would try to get a proper lance, like one of these, right? Most of the time, there is... interesting. There is a class of lance that you can get that is 12 strength. And that's the reason why I was, quoting 12 strength earlier. And I did see it earlier, unfortunately, but... well, we got one. We got a lance. I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to go, but let's try and find some Vanscree Raiders and try to fight them, shall we? Alright, so we're actually fighting against some heretics. I saw these and I thought to myself, okay, there's only 14 of them, right? There's only 14 of them. This should be relatively simple if I can do some damage with my... Oh no, my horse is so slow. It doesn't even allow me to do... Oh, look at my couch lance. No, my couch lance damage is so terrible. Okay, this is going to be... Oh, actually, I did quite nicely. Alright, that was much better than anticipated. Okay, I've got to be a little bit careful here, obviously, because they're going to completely destroy me if we let them. Do some damage. Nope, never mind. That guy was shielding himself. Maybe we can do some damage to these guys. It's going to be very, very difficult to actually land a hit on any of them, to be honest. But if I can do some damage to their other people, then we'll be pretty happy with that. Let's tell them to charge. Okay, here we go. Nice. Oh, no. Wow, 0 damage. Nice. There we go. There's the damage. That's what we like to see. Okay. Can we get some more of that, please? Can we get some more of that? Yes. We need to win this. We absolutely 100% need to win this. I'm actually very, very thankful that we have units that are a little bit more higher level. Oh, I really hoped that I was going to get that headshot right there, but oh well, never mind. Okay, we weren't able to. Can I actually? Never mind. Okay, the Heretic Magnus just got absolutely slaughtered. And indeed, the only thing we can do now is basically just hope that this fellow runs into us. That's pretty much all we can hope for. If he runs into us right now, we should be able to kill him. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. I can't believe I just leached that kill. I totally stole that kill. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. I absolutely 100% murdered that guy with massive damage. Yes, with absolutely massive damage. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, so yeah, we did actually get a chipped metal spike mace. Obviously, we got some of these other things. This is absolutely terrible loot. It's kind of unfortunate, really. I was somewhat hoping that we would have gotten something a little better here. Alright, so I sold that for 269. We're going to go and obviously level up more of our people here. It is going to take quite some time to level up these Fearsvain troops, but this is the reason why I'm a little bit worried about our economy, shall we say, not scaling as fast as our wages. That's going to be the biggest problem for us as we go forward here. Unfortunately, Leslie, as you can see, cannot use those boots, so we're going to have to give her these. We're going to have to give her this as well. We don't have a chest piece for her just yet, but that's okay. Ansen, I think, can probably wear this, can probably wear these. Yes, he can. And she can actually wear his old boots as well, so that's quite nice too. We can obviously do this automatically, but sometimes in the very, very early stages of a playthrough, I actually kind of prefer doing it, you know, just myself. We are going to be getting her a new weapon as well. Unfortunately, I didn't actually keep any of the weapons that we just looted. But that's alright. That's alright. You know, we don't really need to worry about that. There is a tournament going on here too, but unfortunately, as you know, I think we need about, is it 100 renown or 200 renown or something like that? I can't remember the exact amount of renown that we need, but, well, by the time that we are going to be getting into tournaments, we should have a pretty decent economy already up and running. So we'll see what happens with that. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.